There are two openings which allow things into your head, these two. We can make Isha earplugs if you want. I didn't know there was demand for it. Our craft department can make Isha earplugs. Very organic, cotton ones, wooden ones, or just groundnuts, 2 groundnuts. High-protein earplugs we can advertise. Now, what you call as attachment is a natural consequence of exclusiveness. The moment you choose between one and the other, getting tangled up with it is natural. See, we've already gone through this today. We accept both filth and fruit. But when it comes to eating, we choose the fruit. This is a choice we're making. When it comes to physical activity, we choose. But when we just sit here, where is the need to choose? For a specific activity, choices are made. But for the rest of the life, there is no need to make choices every moment of your life. Inclusiveness means this. Inclusiveness does not mean you have lost your discriminatory sense. You have your discriminatory sense. Your discriminatory sense is useful only for performing action, not for being here. For being here, you need not be discriminatory in any way. To be alive, if you discriminate, it will not work. But to act, you need discrimination, otherwise you cannot act sensibly. So this problem of getting attached or overly attached to one will naturally lead to another consequence of having deep aversion to many others. See, to balance your so-called love with one person, you will have to have deep aversion to a whole lot of people. You can't stand them. Please carefully watch and see, this is how it's working. Whether you're… maybe those people with whom you have aversion, you may not notice it unless they happen to be around you. You have aversion, but because they never came near you, it's not felt. But if they happen to come here, you will feel it, because this balance is always happening. Now, your expectations about people, this is not just about people, this is everything. What is the source of all human misery on the planet? Life is not happening the way I think it should happen. Is there any other cause I'm asking? Life is not happening the way I think it should happen. This is the only source of misery in human life, isn't it? Tell me, is it easier to change your thinking or the world? Changing your thinking is very easy, isn't it? And first of all, now, when what you think is so important for you, have you taken this faculty of thinking into your charge? No, you're in a state of mental diarrhea. If everything that happens in your thoughts come true in your life, you're finished. Fortunately, they're not coming true. My blessing is, may your dreams not come true. Because the way you're dreaming, if all of it happens, you're finished. Because your expectation is coming from a very limited picture of life. If you want your life to yield in a maximum way, even in material life, I'm saying, in a maximum way, I'm not talking about some spiritual dimension, just in your material life, if you want to yield maximum in this world, no expectations. You know Shunya meditation? No expectations. No expectation does not mean you don't have an orientation. It is just that you don't… every moment you don't go about calculating, oh, I didn't get what I want, I didn't get what I want did not happen. No, it's just that if you want to move in this direction, how far you will go will depend on how much gas you have, isn't it? And if you have expectation, you are wasting all your gas in simply revving up the engine all the time and you won't go far. This whole expectation overtaking you has happened to you because right from your childhood, people are asking, at the age of 3, people are, tell me what will you become? Will you become doctor? Will you become IT engineer? Some rubbish. At the age of 3, the expectations that parents have of their children is largely so unrealistic and stupid most of the time. It is neither good for them nor for the children, and right from your early age you cultivate the same trend. Let's do this much with life. See, all this problem is because happiness is a tomorrow thing. You understand? Why your expectations have such powerful grip on you is, happiness is a tomorrow thing, never a today thing. Because only if this and this happens, I will be happy. Now, as you get more miserable, as this and this gets little more away from you every day, instead of coming closer if it's going away, as you get more miserable, the power of the expectation becomes stronger and stronger. Right now, let's say you're really blissed out, but you want this to happen. We chased it, tomorrow instead of being closer, it's further away. It won't create any great amount of suffering, it will not. It will not create any suffering because you're joyful. So without fixing this, you're trying to do things in the world. Long time ago, it seems Krishna said, yogastaha kuru karmani. That means first establish in yoga, then act. But now you started your action in a mess, so you come to yoga. So we're trying to adjust this. You're still a young person, you do this much, forget about what you want in the world, from yourself, from the people, from the world. What you want, drop it. First establish this, that what happens within you is determined by you, nobody else but you. Just do this one thing, naturally you will choose to become pleasant. When you're very pleasant, still 10,000 things have not happened in my life. So what? With a joyful zest, I'll go after it. And the chances of fulfilling those expectations are far better. If they don't happen, who the hell cares anyway, because my experience of being here is wonderful whichever way. Without fixing the fundamental, we're trying to run away. We have not fixed this, but we are trying to take this somewhere. This is trouble. If you want to drive your car, you must see first it's properly fixed. 2 wheels are loose, it's on the jack. Now you try to drive, you know it's going to be a disaster. You're still a young person, there's no need for anything to happen in your life right now. This is a time to establish yourself. This is not a time to drive. If you drive before you fix the wheels, it's going to be painful and disastrous. Don't do that to yourself.
Dealing with attachment is a fundamental aspect of personal growth and spiritual development. Attachment in this context refers to clinging to people, things, ideas, or outcomes which can lead us to suffering when those things inevitably change or are lost. So, here is a general breakdown of how to navigate attachments in your life. Understand that everything is impermanent. People, your possession, your and even your experiences are constantly changing. Clinging to them creates a sense of false security. Explore what drives your attachments. And are you seeking security, validation, love, or control? Healthy connections involves love, care, and support, while attachment involves possessiveness, control, and fear of loss. Practice mindfulness to become aware of your thoughts and emotions related to attachment. Observe them without judgment. When you feel the urge to cling to something or someone, Acknowledge it without acting on it immediately. Practice staying present and appreciating the moments as it is rather than dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. Accept that you cannot control everything. Practice surrendering to the flow of life. Simplify your life and reduce your reliance on material possessions. Let go of expectations about how things should be. Accept that things may not always go according to the plan. Recognize that people are not possessions. Allow them their freedom and independence. This does not mean to not care. It means to not to let your emotion control you and control them. Cultivate a strong sense of self worth that is not dependent on external validation. Find sources of joy and fulfillment within yourself. Be kind and gentle with yourself during times of change and loss. Meditation can help you cultivate inner peace and equanimity, reducing your resilience and external source of happiness. Reflect on the nature of reality and impermanence of all things. Explore teachings from various traditions that address attachment and liberation. A therapist can help you explore the root causes of your attachment and develop healthier coping mechanisms. Connecting with others who are always working on detachment can provide valuable support and encouragement. Begin by practicing detachment in small ways, such as letting go of minor possessions or expectations. Overcoming attachment is a gradual process. Be patient and compassionate with yourself. Reflect on your experiences and attachment and use them as an opportunity for growth. Do you remember that detachment is not about being cold or indifferent? It's about finding freedom from suffering. Healthy connections are important in life, but they should not be based on dependency or control. The goal is to find inner peace and security that is not dependent on external circumstances. So take a deep breath and let yourself relax for a moment. In life, it is natural to have expectations, but Sadhguru reminds us of the importance of anchoring ourselves in joy and pleasantness before engaging in actions. It's about finding that inner balance, that state of being where our action stems from a place of fulfillment rather than pursuit of fulfillment. So, as we navigate through our days, let us remember to cultivate that sense of joy within ourselves, allowing it to guide our action and interactions with the world around us. And in doing so, we may find our experiences become more meaningful and our connections deeper and our journey more fulfilling. Life is constantly moving, changing, unfolding in ways we may not always understand. Sometimes we get caught up in expectations. What we think should happen, how we believe things should be, or how we want others to respond to us. And when things don't align with those expectations, it can feel frustrating, disappointing, or even painful. But perhaps instead of holding on so tightly to what we accept, we can learn to flow with life a little more easily. Imagine if instead of waiting for the world to bring us happiness, we created the space within ourselves that is always at peace, joyful, no matter what happens outside. When we are anchored in that inner presentness, in that deep sense of ease, our actions no longer comes from a place of need or desperation. Instead, they become natural, effortless, and full of life. It's not about giving up on our dreams or not caring about what happens in our life. It's about shifting our focus rather than expecting something or someone to make us happy. We take responsibility for our own inner state. When we do that, interactions with the world becomes lighter, freer, and far more beautiful. Think about the moment when you have been truly happy, not because something externally happened, but just because you felt good within yourself. Maybe it was when you were laughing with a friend, watching the sunset or a sunrise, or simply sitting in silence, feeling at ease. That feeling is always available to us, not as a result of something, but as a way of our being. If we can nurture this space within ourselves, our actions becomes an expression of joy rather than desperate search for fulfillment. We move through life not feeling burdened by expectations, but feeling light, open, and ready for whatever comes our way. So, as you go about your days, just take a moment, breathe, smile, allow yourself to enjoy the simplicity of this moment without needing anything to be different. Let go of whatever weight you have been carrying in your mind. Life is happening right now in this very breath, and you are here fully alive. That in itself is something truly precious. Again, thank you so much for joining us and allowing yourself in this time to listen, to be, and to explore these thoughts. Do remember, this is not a summary of Sadhguru's word. This is simply my interpretation of the deep wisdom he imparted.
चंद्रचूड़ शिव शंकर पार्वती रमणा निनगे नमो नमो